Thank you for joining. There's quite a few of you here in the room, which is nice to see. So, how's everyone doing? I hope you've had a good start to the week. You've had a lovely weekend, and looking forward to what's going to be a busy week in markets with the Fed and so on. So, um, I guess many of you here already know me, um, but my preference to approaching the markets is from a day trading methodology, but I do have a background in trading longer term positions, aka swing trading. So I should be able to add some value to you, no matter whether you're trading any one of the sessions or if you're trading a couple of the sessions during the day, or indeed if you're looking to trade longer term in terms of holding positions overnight and over a course of a number of days. But essentially, what I'm offering here um, is an opportunity to get together with me. Um, Essentially, it was priced at two 1 hour personal coaching sessions, um, but we've thrown in a third one for free to sort of wrap it up, and hopefully over the course of those two initial sessions we can progress you forward, and wrap it up over a third session, and hopefully that will be you up and running, um, and moving forward positively. The idea obviously is to, whether you're a beginner or if you're an intermediate, to get you more consistent in what you're doing, with positive outcomes. Um, so that's the idea of this. So essentially, what we're doing here, it's a coaching program, um, and that you'll have to read and accept the terms and conditions. But FX Street will kindly commit to a 30-day money back guaranteed, no questions asked. So just for the meantime, I'm going to pop in a link, if I can do that from here. 1 minute, should be able to. There it is. And then we can address that a little bit later on. But I'm going to pop it into the chat, and let's get into some details, of what to expect from the session. So as I run through here, let's start with the introduction. Why choose mentoring? So this essentially is a slide, really, just to keep me on track, but it should help me and help you understand, well, help me explain the service, and for you to understand that. So the idea then is, as I said, to get you basically into the faster lane in education by taking the mentoring route. Um, it's a big old world out there, so there are many different ways to go about it, but there's also a fair bit that I would recommend moving away from, to get you on a faster path, really, to becoming consistently profitable. But there are many aspects to it, such as fundamentals, technical analysis, money management. Um, so we'll go down that rabbit hole if need be, in essentially whatever area that you want to brush up on, or if we're starting from scratch all the way through. It might be that you want um, more in-depth knowledge around fundamentals, or it might just be purely technical analysis that you're looking for, or you might want to look at ways in which you can help manage your risk, and so forth, and trade management. So all of that I can offer you um, along the way. So that's essentially what we're doing here. As I said, this could be for complete beginners or intermediates. And as I said, either whether you're a day trader or swing trader, or perhaps a mix of the both, and whether you want to be trading currencies or the indices, commodities, cryptos, we can cover all of those for you. We have here the objective, from my perspective, is to get you a broader knowledge of the marketplace, and along the way discover what market might be right for you, what style of trading could be best suited for you. Um, maybe it is that you can't day trade because you're tied up in other areas of your life and so forth. So perhaps swing trading might be the best approach. Um, and we want to avoid the strategy hopping circuit, which can take you many years until you get to a point where you realize that all of that was nonsense and this is the way to go. Um, so, for those of you that don't know me, I've been around for a fair bit of time. I started out in 2001 in a company called Sugden, UK. They're still alive and kicking, London Bridge. It was a commodities broker in principle, London Metal Exchange members, but they had a medium-sized foreign exchange operation as market makers. So my role there was, well, I started out as a junior, um, creating the swap prices for our clients, and then progressing to become a market maker. And my clients were medium to small size banks. So that's where I started all the way back in 2001. But over the years, I progressed in the city and ended up working at Investment Bank. Those of you that enjoy your rugby, maybe you might have come across Investment Bank as sponsors of rugby in the World Cup and so forth. I was working there as on the corporate treasury management and specialized finance department. And I was a foreign exchange dealer there also, and for a couple of other companies. I actually headed up Rational FX corporate operations. I was head dealer at that institution. And those are my qualifications, so forth. And I've been with FX Street now for 10 years, and have very happily moved across to the premium service of late. And I've been enjoying that role ever since. So that's a bit about me. You can look me up on YouTube as well. I'm there. You'll see some old footage of me on CNBC and Bloomberg and so on. Right. So the idea, as I said, is to offer the first two sessions, whereby the first one would be an investigation and evaluation of yourself, where you're at, where you want to go, assess what it is that you're looking to gain from um, speaking with me over the sessions, so that it becomes a bespoke mentorship for you. So I don't have any particular plan to begin with. It will roll as we go, really depending on what it is that you're looking to get out of it, and I'll do my best to add value in that perspective. And that's me discussing there what we'll be doing on the first and second. So the second mentorship coaching session will be a follow-on from the first, and looking to progress from where we started. In between then and the second session, I will have plenty of homework for you to go through. So we likely leave the second session for a good couple of weeks, giving you plenty of time to go through the homework, as it were, so that when we come into the second session, we can go through that, iron out any creases, and then progress forward, and getting a bit more technical perhaps down the line as we go. And as I said, the follow up would be a third courtesy meeting. And I've said here, keeping you on the right track. And throughout all of that, of course, I'm available to you here on Discord. You can send me an email as well, and I'll happily take your questions throughout the week for you there as well. So it's a continuous mentorship scenario. So that's what you'll be getting. And along with that, I've got a couple of strategies. I've got a swing trading strategy. I'll be more than happy to send you and go through for you if you wanted to learn my approach to, well, what was my approach to swing trading. I had some good success with it, but things in life change, and I've opted to, I'm best suited to trading the US session. So I no longer swing trade, but I do have a strategy for swing trading. And also this one here, which is a day trading strategy, the 8 a.m. fake out. It can be used across the indices, gold, and WTI oil in the main. I wouldn't apply this particular one to currencies. This is a specialized formed strategy for these particular markets. That's what this works best on. If it were to be a forex day trading strategy that you would like to learn and avoid these markets, then of course, as you may well know, I trade forex day in day out on the days that suit to do so, and of course I can show you how I go about that. So this is an example of the day trading strategy that can be applied on the US indices, oil, gold, and silver, in fact. So this is it playing out, and that's the sort of result. Typically, a 2 or 3, or maybe even up to a 4 or 5 to 1 initial risk to reward. But my approach would be to scale. Well, you call it pyramiding, so it actually average down, and typically you could expect a 2 to 3 risk to reward scenario. So for swing trading, we have continuations, and I have an M and W formation strategy that we can go through that can be applied across indices, gold, cryptos, oil, forex, you name it. So there's that there as well. So you can expect around about two setups, at least two setups per week for that particular strategy. Whereas the day trading is pretty much there'll be a setup each day across either one or all of those instruments that I've outlined. So that's it in a nutshell. And what I'd like to do now, if you have any questions, I'll go through those. So we have Simon here looking for both, maybe preference to swing trading. So that's absolutely fine, Simon. And the coaching program would be between 1 and 2 months, depending on how fast you want to take it or how slow or whatever suits you, really. So as I said, the first session would be to get us started. The second would be a follow-up that could be a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, or maybe even a month down the line if that's what you prefer. And then the third one, ideally, we would like to keep this all within 1 to 2 months, because the further you spread it out, we're going to lose momentum, focus, and it could deteriorate. So let's try and get this all wrapped up in a shorter time frame as possible, so long as it's effective for you. For Forex trading, I use a strategy whereby I'm focusing on the highs and lows of the days. I use a weekly template. I look at cycles, and I tend to, I trade the cycles, the repetitiveness that goes on day to day, week to week, buying low, selling high. And I like to be in and out within a few hours. My trade setups generally take between, they can be from half an hour or even less to perhaps right through towards the end of the day. I don't like to hold a position all day long. The setups that I look for tend to happen like this one here pretty quickly. I don't know if you can see that, if I'm still sharing my screen. Yes, I am. So this one here, it shows here at 5 o'clock. But it's just to give you an idea of the sort of setups that I'm looking for. These impulsive moves that come out of contracted markets, coiled markets, and I'm looking for that breakout on the session. Yes, the cost of the coaching is 199. And as I said, the coaching program, we'd like to wrap it up within 2 months. As I said, I want there to be momentum with this, and then you can take it away, run with it, and of course, by all means, get in touch with me if need be thereafter. Okay, no problem. You're very welcome, Luke. So the strategies, what's the success rate? I don't particularly have a success rate. Within the, for instance, within the 8 a.m. fake outs, I've run some back testing, not extensive, um, but I did a couple of months worth of back testing that threw up on the US 30, it was, and it threw up pretty much a setup at least 3 times a week. And when you talk about success rate, for me, a successful trade is a trade where you've covered your costs, your time analyzing and getting set up. So long as you can get that covered, and then down the line, you'll be profitable with it. Um, as I said, if you're risking one and your outcome is a reward of three, then you can afford to take losing trades because over time it will average out in your favor. But to put a success rate on it, I couldn't tell you. But like I said, the majority of the setups will get you into at least a break even scenario. Um, or obviously, the idea is to be consistently profitable, and over time, it will play out in your favor. So it'll be down to you. There is some discretion to it. It is a rule based mechanical strategy, this particular 8 a.m. fake out strategy, as is the or are the continuation and M and W formation swing trading strategies. But of course, we are all individuals, and I could give you an entry or I could give you the setup, and pretty much will be guaranteed to trade at a different price but in the same direction. And then, of course, it's down to you on how you want to manage that trade and your risk. So, for instance, you might wish to, as soon as you're into profit, some like to move to break even. Now, that's not what I suggest doing. And we can talk about all of that throughout the sessions. But, some people like to do that. They feel better about the whole situation, getting into a break even scenario as soon as possible, but those tend to then end up being a break even because you're not giving it enough room to breathe. But I personally, as I said, will go through this in the mentoring. But I like to take money off and then add to the position as I'm when it's given me signs of conviction, um, and pyramiding in. But we can go through all of that down the line. So it's really down to you guys how much of a success you're going to make of it. Are you going to show up every day and perform the same golf swing, as it were, day in, day out? We all have our off days that can be detrimental to our trading and so forth. Psychology comes into it. But in answer to your question, it's a strategy that has shown time and time again decent results. Yes, there are 3 sessions to the mentoring, and the sessions that I will be coaching, as I said, will be based around your needs. So it may be that you're not interested in either of these strategies and simply you want to improve on some aspect or another of what you're already doing. And that's absolutely fine. If you've got something that's working for you, but you would like to go into looking to see if there's any way of improving it, optimizing what you're doing, then perhaps I can help. That's what I seek to do. That's my objective, is to add value. Each session would be round about an hour. It could be shorter, could be longer, but on average, it will be about an hour. . And then over the course of the coaching, to give you an example, I need to go to my YouTube channel. Give me one moment, please. And I'd give you an example of the sort of homework that I could be dishing out for you. And I want to be going to a different channel. 1 minute, not that one. Switch account, this one here. Just get my face out of the way, 1 moment. So, no, there it is. So I have a library of coaching videos, homework videos. Where are they? 1 moment. So for instance, the 8 a.m. fake out strategy. Here it is. There's a library. Let me go to the playlists. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, at the moment, there are 21 videos there. No, that's not letting me do it. Oh, what's going on? 1 minute. Right, so this one, yeah, they're all about 30 minutes long, and they take you through from start to finish and gives you, get my face out of the way again, uh, gives you demonstrations, back testing, and so forth. And then I'm adding to the library as we go, week upon week, with tips and tricks and so forth. So you have that as well. That's thrown in to the mentorship. And if you wanted swing trading, then I also have something of the equivalent for swing trading. And then along with that, we can look at the way in which I actually go about trading the market on a day-to-day basis. Not necessarily applying this exact fake out strategy, but that's one there. But as I said, I like to trade the highs and lows on a weekly template. I show you that day in, day out in the Discord channel, using the weekly template, levels from last month, last week, yesterday, the closing price, and basically order flow is that's my approach. I'm looking to trade the order flow, either catching the trend or looking for the capitulation of the trend on any given day. And that is the sort of trade that I'm looking for, that explosive parabolic move where you're done and dusted within the US session. It can be applied to any session, but I am based around the US, so that's my preference to be trading the US session. Currencies open technically at 7 a.m. in the US day, so 7 a.m. New York. And this is how I've set up my chart. So you have the 7 a.m. open. I like to look at that range, the first hour of the day. And then we get the Treasury market opening at 8 a.m. And that's what I look for. I look for the order flow picking up and the setup for the Wall Street Open, and then trading essentially the first few hours of the day. I don't like to really be here trading much after lunchtime. Of course, there are opportunities after lunchtime, but I like to look for the parabolic setups early in the day and then get off the screen and I'm done. So that would be that's my day trading style. We can talk about that as well. But as I said, you've got the fake out strategy, which I'll teach you if you want to know about it and learn it, as well as the swing trading strategy. The swing trading strategy, give you sort of an example of what to expect from that. So for instance, I'm using the daily chart on a swing trading approach, taking into account of, still always taking into account of levels and so forth. So over here you can see that we're within last month's range, moving higher and so forth. So I'm always taking note of where we are over a monthly template, a weekly template, but my setups are done on the 4-hour chart, reading the daily chart for my directional bias, and I'm essentially looking for either continuation trades, such as this here. An entry probably would have been around here on a 4-hour chart, and I'm looking for the move up in continuation of the trend. Whereas the M and W formation strategy, if I can get off that template, I can find an example. So here is an M formation, and I'm looking for the reversion. So I'll draw that for you. I'm looking for the reversion back into the neckline. So I have a strategy for that is rule-based, mechanical, and so forth. So we can go through that as well if that's the line of trading you want to take, either day trading or swing trading. We have it all. Okay. So, are there any further questions? As I said, I'm doing a recording of this, so um, for those of you that want to go over what we've talked about today, I'll post that video for you. It's probably about to come to fruition in a minute, so but I'll post that video for you. It'll be a 30-minute long video that will be in the education section on Discord, so you can look it up and have a look at that later on. And of course, I've sent you the link, the PayPal link, if you want to go ahead and sign up. And then once you've done that, just send me on a personal message the receipt of payment, and I can send you a link which would take you to a calendar. It's a program that I use, which will go directly into. There it is. There. In fact, I'll post you that. Why not? I'll give you that link right away, just to give you an example of how that works. But you just essentially sign up for your sessions. You choose your date and time that suits you. Generally, they will be in the afternoon, US afternoon, where I'm mostly free. So that would be my preference, rather than doing coaching in the volatile part of the day where I like to trade. We can do this in a quieter time of the day where we can just concentrate on you and getting you one step further down the line of your trading journey. Okay, it doesn't seem to be any more questions coming through. So if there are, go ahead and fire away. If not, I'm going to start wrapping this up. So thank you all for joining. I hope you've got. How would it work if someone needs more than 3 sessions? We are looking into a phase 2 of this. You could either book a further 3 sessions, whether we're going to roll out individual lessons after the first 3, so that you can keep booking individual lessons. I haven't got my feedback on that. That's still work in progress, but this is the second installment of this. We've already run an initial pilot mentoring program, which is essentially this. Well, it is exactly the same what we're offering here, 3 sessions. But for those that want to continue, you can go ahead and book another 3 sessions by all means. Okay, you're welcome, Simon. Right, so I think we've covered everything. Okay, we have another question coming through. By all means. Okay, I'm glad that you like the sound of it, and I hope to see you in a coaching session soon. Okay, that draws us to a conclusion then. Thank you very much for being here. By all means, you can send me a personal message if you've got any further follow-up questions. And indeed, if you want to have the link again, it has already been shared. I'll just share it once again. No, not that one. uh, this one here.